Vietnam, a serpentine of land stretching from the misty highlands of Sapa to the sun-drenched deltas of the Mekong, is a nation forged in the fires of resilience and illuminated by the unquenchable spirit of its people. Known as the Land of the Dragon, Vietnam's history is a saga of defiance against overwhelming odds, cultural rebirth, and an indomitable will to thrive. From ancient rice paddies where legends were sown to the bustling streets of Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, the Vietnamese have faced invasions, colonial yokes, and wars that would break lesser souls. Yet they have risen time and again, their laughter echoing in folk songs, their ingenuity blooming in silk and faux, and their unity binding a people across millennia. This narrative traces Vietnam's journey from its prehistoric roots to its modern ascent, spotlighting 5 iconic figures: the Trưng sisters, Tran Hung Giao, Lê Loi, Ho Chi Minh, and Vuong Nguyen Giap, who embody the heart of Vietnam's legacy. Through centuries of turmoil, the Vietnamese people have proven that their spirit is as enduring as the bamboo that bends but never breaks, a testament to a nation that turns scars into stars. Vietnam's story emerges from the misty veil of prehistory, with evidence of human habitation dating back 4,000 years. The Dong Son culture, centered in the Red River Delta, marked a golden age of innovation. These Bronze Age people crafted the iconic Dong Son drums, massive, intricate vessels adorned with scenes of rice cultivation, warfare, and rituals, symbols of a sophisticated society that mastered wet rice agriculture, metallurgy, and communal governance. The drums' resonant echoes still pulse in Vietnam's festivals, reminding us of a people who harmonized with the land's rhythms. By the 3rd century BCE, the Lac Viet tribes unified under the Hưng kings in the kingdom of Vân Lang, establishing the foundations of Vietnamese identity. Legend tells of Lac Long Quan, a dragon lord, marrying O Ko, a fairy, birthing 100 eggs that hatched into Vietnam's first people, a myth that celebrates unity and divine resilience. Yet this harmony was tested by northern neighbors. In 111 BCE, the Han dynasty of China conquered the region, renaming it Jiaoji and imposing a millennium of intermittent rule. The Vietnamese, or Lac Viet, endured forced assimilation, tribute demands, and cultural suppression, but they preserved their language, animist beliefs, and matrilineal traditions, planting the seeds of resistance. The first sparks of defiance ignited in the 1st century CE. The Trưng sisters, Trung Trac and Trung Nhi, born around 12 CE in Mê Linh, became symbols of Vietnam's unyielding spirit. Daughters of a noble family, they led a massive uprising against Chinese overlords in 40 CE, rallying 80,000 warriors, many women, to overthrow the tyrannical governor To Dinh. Proclaiming themselves queens, the Trưng sisters ruled an independent Vietnam for 3 years, restoring local customs and challenging patriarchal norms by elevating women in governance. Though defeated in 43 CE, their legacy endures in poetry, temples, and the national ethos of rather die than submit. The Trưng sisters embody the Vietnamese resilience, fierce, familial, and forward-looking, proving that even in subjugation, the dragon's fire cannot be extinguished. As Chinese influence waned, Vietnam asserted its sovereignty. In 939 CE, Ngo Quyen's victory at the Bac Giang River expelled the Tang dynasty, marking true independence. The Ngo, Jin, and Lê dynasties followed, but it was the Lai dynasty that ushered in a golden era. King Li Thai, to establish Thung Long, modern Hanoi, as the capital in 1010, a city of lotus ponds and citadels that symbolized Vietnam's rising phoenix. The Lai promoted Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism in harmony, building pagodas like the One-Pillar Pagoda and fostering wet rice terraces that fed a burgeoning population. The 13th century brought existential threats: 3 Mongol invasions under Kublai Khan, who sought to subjugate the Jai Viet kingdom. Vietnam's people, from peasants to nobles, mobilized with guerrilla tactics, poisoned arrows, and unbreakable resolve. Tran Hung Giao, born Tran Quoc Tuan in 1228, emerged as the era's military genius and moral compass. A prince of the Tran dynasty, he orchestrated the decisive victory at Bac Giang in 1288, where bamboo stakes impaled Mongol ships at low tide, drowning their fleet. Beyond battles, Tran Hung Giao was a poet and strategist, authoring Hich Tuong Si, meaning call to arms, a rallying cry that fused Confucian duty with Vietnamese patriotism. If we win, we share the glory. If we lose, we share the shame. His emphasis on unity. The people are the root of the nation, repelled the invaders and inspired generations. Honored as a saint, Tran Hung Jao's legacy reflects Vietnam's resilience, a blend of intellect, improvisation, and collective will, turning tidal rivers into tombs for empires. The 14th and 15th centuries saw the Ho and early Lê dynasties consolidate power. Lê Loi, born in 1385, led the Lam Son uprising against Ming Chinese occupiers who had reconquered Vietnam in 1407. A landowner turned rebel king, Lê Loi wielded the legendary sword of the Dragon Lord, symbolizing divine mandate. With 10,000 followers, he employed hit-and-run tactics in the mountains, forging alliances and enduring starvation. His victory at Chi Long in 1427 expelled the Ming, restoring independence and founding the Lê dynasty, which expanded south into Champa and Khmer territories, unifying Vietnam's heartland. Crowned Emperor Lê Thai To, he established a merit-based bureaucracy and land reforms, prioritizing the people's welfare. Lê Loi's return of the sword to a river, where a golden turtle reclaimed it, embodies humility and harmony with nature. His story exalts Vietnamese resilience, from humble origins to heroic triumph, a reminder that perseverance carves nations from chaos. This era also nurtured cultural depths. The 15th century's Jai Viet Su Ki Tuan Thu chronicled history, while Champa's Hindu-Buddhist influences enriched Vietnamese art, seen in the majestic My Son temples. Yet, internal strife loomed, as the Lê dynasty fractured into Trinh and Nguyen lordships, dividing north and south. The 18th century dawned with turmoil. The Tai Son rebellion, led by the brothers Nguyen Nhac, Nguyen Hue, and Nguyen Lu, toppled the Trinh and Nguyen lords. Nguyen Hue, as Emperor Quang Trung, crushed a Qing Chinese invasion in 1789 at Zhongjia, using elephant charges and rattan armor in a Tet offensive-style blitz. Though short-lived, the Tai Son fostered equality and innovation, printing books and reforming taxes. The Nguyen dynasty, founded by Gia Long, unified Vietnam under a Confucian mandate, building the imperial city of Hue, a UNESCO gem of palaces and gardens. Emperor Minh Mang expanded infrastructure, but isolationism clashed with Western ambitions. French missionaries' invasion started in the 17th century, but by the 1850s, France sought colonies. The 1858-1885 conquest imposed protectorates, exploiting rubber, coal, and rice, while violently suppressing dissent. Vietnamese intellectuals formed movements like the Duy Tan Society. Colonial rule crushed spirits but ignited nationalism. Uprisings from Phan Boi Chau's Dong Du to the 1930 Yen Bai Mutiny sowed seeds of revolution. World War II brought Japanese occupation, weakening France and creating a power vacuum. In the mid-20th century, Vietnam's dragon roared for freedom. Ho Chi Minh, born Nguyen Sinh Cung in 1890 in Ny An, became the architect of modern Vietnam. A polymath, poet, revolutionary, and statesman, Ho traveled the world, from Paris to Moscow to Guangzhou, absorbing Marxism-Leninism, and forging the Indo-Chinese Communist Party in 1930. Exiled for decades, he declared independence on September 2, 1945, in Hanoi's Ba Jin Square, echoing the U.S. Declaration, "All men are created equal." As president of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, Ho navigated the First Indo-Chinese War, outlasting French forces at Dien Bien Phu in 1954, a victory that ended colonialism in Indochina. Ho's vision was rooted in Vietnamese values: land reform for peasants, education for all, and unity against division. His poetry, like Words to My Fellow Countrymen, blended Confucian ethics with socialist fervor, inspiring millions. Despite health woes and U.S. escalation in the Vietnam War, Ho's death in 1969 did not dim his flame. His embalmed body in Hanoi's mausoleum symbolizes eternal vigilance. Ho Chi Minh's legacy exalts Vietnamese resilience, a humble teacher who toppled empires, proving that ideas, not armies alone, forge destinies. The Vietnam War divided the nation, with the U.S.-backed South clashing against the North's Viet Minh. Bombings scarred the land, Agent Orange defoliated jungles, and Tet Offensive turned tides. Yet Vietnamese ingenuity shone. Women in the Long Hai Brigade fought as equals, and the Ho Chi Minh Trail snaked supplies through Laos and Cambodia. The war's architect of triumph was Vo Nguyen Giap, born in 1911 in Quang Binh. A self-taught general with a history degree, Giap masterminded Dien Bien Phu, using human wave tactics and anti-aircraft guns hauled by bicycle to encircle French paratroopers. "No fortress is impregnable," he declared, embodying Vietnam's asymmetric warfare ethos. In the Vietnam War, Giap's strategies, guerrilla ambushes, tunnel networks like Cu Chi, frustrated U.S. might, leading to the 1973 Paris Accords and Saigon's fall in 1975. Post-reunification in 1976, Vietnam faced isolation, embargo, and poverty. The Khmer Rouge's genocide in Cambodia prompted Vietnam's 1979 intervention, toppling Pol Pot. Economic stagnation persisted until 1986's Choi Moi reforms embracing market socialism. Under leaders like Nguyen Van Linh, Vietnam opened to foreign investment, transforming from war-torn fields to factories buzzing with Samsung and Intel. Giap, who lived until 2013, remained a moral compass, advocating peace and environmentalism. His life, from teacher to Red Napoleon, mirrors Vietnam's resilience, turning weakness into wisdom, defeat into doctrine. The 21st century has seen Vietnam's phoenix soar. GDP growth averaging 6 to 7% annually has lifted millions from poverty, with Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City as tech hubs. The nation joined the WTO in 2007 and CPTPP in 2018, balancing ties with China, the US, and ASEAN. Culturally, Vietnam blooms. Nuoc Mam ferments traditions, Ao Dai drapes festivals, and Kapesua Ja fuels innovation. UNESCO sites like Ha Long Bay and Hughes Citadel draw millions, while literature, from Bao Nin's The Sorrow of War to Ocean Vuong's Diaspora Voices, grapples with memory. Challenges persist. South China Sea disputes, climate threats to the Mekong Delta, and urban inequality. Yet Vietnamese resilience endures. During COVID-19, Vietnam's swift response, contact tracing and community lockdowns, earned global praise, with vaccine diplomacy showcasing maturity. From the Trưng sisters' rebellion to Giap's genius, Vietnam's figures illuminate a people who have repelled Han, Mongol, French, and American forces, not through might, but through unity, adaptability, and cultural depth. Their history is a dragon's coil, twisting through invasions, uncoiling in victory. Today, 100 million Vietnamese, farmers, entrepreneurs, artists, carry this flame, blending ancient rituals with apps, proving that resilience is Vietnam's eternal rhythm. The nation that birthed Jong Son drums now drums the world's beat, a symphony of survival and splendor.